get my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine. 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah. I look into the sky with all the beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout. Take a look and see a beautiful morning.
Been in here and people are roaring with laughter, so.
It's a dirty show, though.
Well, it's clean dirt.
You have here the best of the best.
Yes.
So we have many celebrities here. The Holly Madison come over here, and the Usher come over here many often, and the Paris Hilton come here.
Well, I'm dating myself, but it's okay. Nobody else will. Oh.
That's so Vegas.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. If you think about that, I mean, go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. And there's one thing we're focused on here at St. Jude, and that's beating this thing.
Welcome to That's So Vegas. I'm your host, Christine McKellar, here at my brand new studio in the fabulous and famous Las Vegas Arts District. Speaking of fabulous and famous, I have a wonderful guest this week, Lenny Windsor. A lot of people in town know him, love him. He's very well thought of. For those of you who don't know him, I'm going to introduce Mr. Windsor. He's going to tell us a bit about his background, and his game is comedy. He's also a writer. He wrote for Benny Hill, and I know those of us who are anywhere near mature, and probably a lot of younger people too, remember Benny Hill. He was kind of hard to forget, and so are you. Yeah,
true.
so
Well, I'm hot. Good day, everybody. It's lovely to be here. Windsor is my name, and it sounds like the royal family.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah, well, I'm not a part of the royal family. I just wish I had the money, of course. Yeah. But I've done 2 command shows for the family. The Queen was not there at either one, but one of the shows I did, Diana was.
Oh, my heart.
Yes.
But
that was a long time ago now. I mean, we're all getting a little older now. I like your studio. It's really nice.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Do you like the location? It's easy to find, is it
Very.
not? Yes.
I didn't know this is the art area.
It's
art
the
district.
Arts District.
It's lovely.
It is lovely.
Yeah.
It stretches further that way and a bit that way and a bit that way, but we're happy to be here even if we are somewhat on the fringe. I do like how easy it is to get here.
It is. It's very easy.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And also it's so nice to have my own studio. You know, formerly I was with WCOBM. That was a while ago, and it was I mean, loved the venue, loved everything, the staff and all, but it was a little bit odd for a girl being in a garage. A garage, I might say.
A garage.
A garage.
Yes, I understand.
So, let's talk a little bit more about your background, because obviously you're British.
British, yes.
And having worked with Benny Hill, I mean, was that at all intimidating? Tell the truth.
No, it wasn't actually. I did I've got a massive ego, and nobody out there frightens me. That's the truth. So if I'm with somebody like famous, so am I. You know, we're equal here. Last week I was on the in Hollywood on the the red carpet event for the parade, the biggest parade in the world.
Yes.
And I met some big stars there who came out of their way to meet me because I was a part of the Benny Hill show.
Oh, love it.
So they really put themselves out to come to me. Mm-hmm. Robert Wagner was one of them. And he said, I know you. He said, you're the Benny Hill guy. And I said, yes. Yeah. Oh. And what was the other guy? I said, Tommy Cooper. And he said, did you know him? I said, know him. Tommy Cooper put me in show business.
Really?
Yes. It's my 54th year in show business.
You're kidding me.
No, I look younger.
Boy, you wear it well.
I know, I'm hot.
But you know what they say? Laughter is the best medicine.
Yeah.
And when you look at the greats, American Yankee greats like Phyllis Diller, Bob Hope, Joey Bishop, all of them, they all lived, George Burns, they lived for like ever, didn't they?
Absolutely. And one of my favorites, of course, was Jack Benny. You know, it's funny, isn't it? Benny Hill, Jack Benny. They're The bennies. You know,
A lot of bennies.
I love to chat Benny. But when I was a kid, you see, I was drawn to a television show called Sunday Night at the London Palladium. It was in black and white, and the Americans were being brought over to do it, to do this big television event, and it was my opportunity as a kid to watch the great Americans.
Wonderful. That's got to have made an impression.
Absolutely. It's funny because Murray Solchak, who is a dear friend of mine.
Love you, Murr.
Yeah, 25 years Murray and I have been friends. He was on a ship. He won't mind me telling you about this. I was headlining on a ship and he was just a young act. And they fired him. And I went to the cruise director and said, you can't do that. This kid's got real talent. You know, he's great. Don't you dare do that. So they kept him.
Oh, got fired and hired.
Yeah, but
all
Murray never forgot it.
All on the same voyage?
All on the same day. You know, so Murray never forgot it. And when he realised I was coming to Vegas, he opened 1,000 doors for me, and he still does.
He's
And
wonderful. I've met his mom. I love his mom.
Absolutely love her to
Yes.
bits.
Yeah, she's a wonderful woman. They don't make women like that anymore.
No,
Moms like
and his
that
dad
anymore.
was a great
He
guy.
was. I met him also, and
Yeah.
I know it was really hard on
Sure.
the whole family when his father passed.
But I love Murray. He's probably...
And Lefty.
Huh?
And Lefty.
Lefty, and
Boy.
also... And 8 Pro. 8 Pro is a great part of the
They've
show.
both been on my show. That's so
Excellent,
Vegas.
excellent.
It's just wonderful. I always tease Douglas Lefty when I see him. He is probably one of the most sharp-dressed men in Vegas.
Absolutely.
Invariably.
Well, you know.
Well, next to you.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. And last week's guest, no.
Yeah, and the one before.
There's just something about a man in a suit. It's just it's so attractive. I wanted to talk a little bit, now that you had brought it up.
Please.
Of having as we could say, Yanks going over to Great Britain. There is such a difference in British and Yankee humor. When you say, I mean, it seems to me that Brit humor is a bit more dry, or what do you find that there's that much of a difference?
I suppose so. Being a Brit,
yeah.
it's easier for me to come to England and entertain. At home, I have to really give it to them. You know, here, I don't. I can work slower. I can work stylish. I can work classy here. And I find the difference is I love working the Americans because you are the greatest audience in the world.
Thank you.
Then retrospectively, Jackie Mason came to England to
I love him.
I do too.
Oh.
So Jackie came to England to do the Royal Command performance. And he was, I got a feeling he was the first comedian to address the royal box.
No.
Yes, and he weren't supposed to. You see,
Never.
You were told not to do that.
Never.
You never. You know, you must let her go. Let the Queen go. Don't address her. Don't look at her.
touch her.
Leave her alone. And he stood on that stage in the first 5 seconds. Only he could do it. He looked up at the royal box and he said, I hope I don't do well because I don't want to be invited back next year because this is a freebie.
Oh,
and it
so Jackie
got a standing ovation.
I bet he did.
And-
Before we, I want to hear more about that, but we do have to take a quick commercial break.
Yeah.
And I have to give a shout out to my sponsor, the Red Roof Inn on Paradise. We'll be right back.
Okay.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. If you think about that, I mean, go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. And there's one thing we're focused on here at St. Jude, and that's beating this thing.
Welcome back to That's So Vegas. I'm your host, Christine McKellar, here in the fabulous Las Vegas Arts District, famous downtown Las Vegas, and I have my fabulous and famous guest comedian and comedy writer, producer, you name it, Lenny Windsor has done it.
Hello.
Oh, darling, I'm so happy to be back on air with you.
Oh, she's putting on an American, putting on an
A
English
fake-
accent.
no.
Love it, love it.
Let me tell you, my French accent is far worse, so we're not
Oh.
even going to go there.
Well, I'm happy to do it. Yes, I love it here. I'm in and out of Vegas all the time.
Right.
You know, I come in to do like lots of shows, and then I go back home again. You know.
Yeah, so
Back to UK.
you're crossing the pond a lot.
I am, yeah.
We were talking in the first segment about, and I love to use terms like this, Yanks crossing
Yanks,
the pond,
yes.
because we were talking about some of the greatest American comedians that you love, respect, and admire, and the difference in British humor and American Yankee humor. I think to us, the British humor is a bit more dry and biting, wouldn't you say? Or
yeah, and I think younger comics here in Vegas, for instance, they love to swear. Sometimes it depends where I'm working. If I'm working Sapphire's a men's club, I have a bit of a swear, not too heavy, but it doesn't matter. The younger comics here, they just walk out with their egg-stained shirts and they got no class about them. They're all doing the same stuff. They're all doing shock therapy.
Right.
Did they think they're new at it? No. I remember doing it when I was younger, and I lost so much work because of it. I thought I was as funny as, you know, I went out there and hit everything, and I thought I was so clever, but I was too acid. I was too acid, and you learn by these mistakes. The comics here are not learning. They're not learning. They're just going out and doing it.
Right.
And I feel, you mentioned earlier on the Italian, Fabri, your comedian, Insultant.
oh, Vinny Favorito, love him.
Love him. He's great.
He's been a guest.
Yes, I saw him on like a little TV thing he was doing in town, downtown somewhere. It could have been the Palms, yeah, loved his style, loved it. I am an entertainment insultant, but I do it. I'm the classiest entertainment insultant in the world. I'm very classy at what I do. Vinny is just perfect.
You know what's perfect about him, and he even mentioned it when he was on my show. He doesn't, and you can see it in his eyes and his face, and he is not there to hurt anybody. He doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. He's making you laugh at your own prejudices or whatever. So we had a rollicking good time prior to the elections with him on my show. He really had us all in stitches.
No, there's an example when you see comedy. You know, like the Americans and the Brits have a go at each other on a cruise ship, for instance. They'll say, you know, oh, what's happened with you in Brexit? Well, you know, yes, I voted to come out of that, and I was happy about it. And I knew they were going to come out. I also knew Mr. Trump would win because I felt for him. And you know, he's got the best show in the world. He stood on that stage and he worked like a comedian that was desperate to win. He annihilated everybody around him. He is probably the best insultant I have seen.
Yes, and it's interesting that you brought up Brexit, because I think that for those who really were listening and not being inundated with media hype and everything, that was a definite clue. And you didn't even see that coming, did you? Brexit?
Yeah.
Oh, you saw, you knew
absolutely. It had to be because you know, we are a small country and we're a great country.
Yes.
And the European Union were not making us great anymore. And you know, I'm getting serious now, and I don't like to become serious, but we were supporting some of the other nations that were not paying their
fair share,
their monies.
Right.
They weren't. You know, I'm not going to mention any country because I'll get a lot of aggravation. Greece. They didn't pay.
Please don't mention.
They don't like to pay income tax. Who does?
I don't.
I don't either. But,
should I have moved there? I don't know.
But I have to.
Yes.
I have to. The Queen needs to be looked after.
Yes, she does
in the way
indeed.
she is accustomed.
And all the
to.
castles and the royal households and stuff.
Well, what about that? They're going to do they're going to do Buckingham Palace at a cost of, I don't know, 10 million, and we have to pay.
But you know what? That's part of the honor and the heritage.
Yeah,
and I don't think there's a single Brit that would mind forking over for the royal family.
Yeah, right.
Okay, but so, okay.
Yeah.
Well, on with that. What about, we were talking earlier about, you know, the using the F-bomb and shock value in comedy. And you, like you said, you've been in comedy as a writer up on the stage for 54 years.
Yeah.
What has changed the most, and let's not, aside from the profanity, but have you seen comedy devolve or evolve, or what's the...
Well, I've seen it. It's not as good as it was. Look at the like, for instance, a lot of Americans remember our situation comedies, and they were great.
Ad Fab.
Yeah, Ad Fab.
Just
Ad
loved
Fab.
it.
Fawlty Towers, the Benny Hill show.
Yes.
These were great shows. Not that you don't have the same. You have great American shows here, but they're not there anymore.
No,
You know, they're
gone.
just not there anymore. There's some sparkle, you know.
Like Saturday Night Live, I find, I don't know, kind of tedious and very juvenile, if you want my opinion.
No,
I'm
I
probably
quite
gonna get
like
flack
it though, you
for it,
see,
yeah.
because, you know, I just like it, you know, because I like anything that's against the grain, and they are a bit, but yeah. I mean, the thing is, I've been so long in this business. I worked with so many beautiful people, big stars. I was with Roy Orbison for 11 years. So when Roy came to England,
Roy
Orbison.
I loved him.
Me too.
Oh,
Me too.
wow.
When he came to England, he asked for me to open the shows for him around the country on his tours. I loved Roy. I loved his band. It was just amazing.
That must have been something.
Yeah. My best friend was Anthony Newley.
Oh,
And Anthony was here, of course,
Oh, yes.
for 15 years.
Yes, he was.
And I toured with Anthony for 10 years. We toured in America. We toured in England. I loved him. He was very British, you know. Hello, Windsor, he would say to me. What kind of fool am I? I loved him.
I bet you did. I'm
Excuse
sure
me.
he loved
I
you.
loved him. He once said to me, he said, no one's ever played a prank on me, Lenny. They take me too serious. I said, no. He said, yes. So we were doing a show in Florida. And we were on tour. And the very last night of the tour, I walked out with just a towel around me. And he had just finished the song. And I said, I'm looking for my socks. He loved it. He used to tell everybody about the story about how I walked on stage.
In just your shorts.
And you know.
Well, we'll finish this up when we come back. I'm going to
Please,
take a quick commercial break. A quick shout out to the Red Roof Inn, still my sponsor. I love them. We're here at the Las Vegas Arts District. That's So Vegas. We'll be right back.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. If you think about that, I mean, go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. And there's one thing we're focused on here at St. Jude, and that's beating this thing.
I bet you people just couldn't wait to get back to Lenny Windsor and myself, your host, Christina Keller, here at That's So Vegas in, and I always want to keep saying this because I'm so thrilled, the fabulous and famous Las Vegas Arts District downtown. I'm like blocks from the City Hall and everything. It's really so much fun. But you're a lot more fun than City Hall.
Well, thank you. It's lovely. It's a great building there.
Isn't this beautiful?
Yeah, I mean, it's so like the Alamo.
I know, it's the original Pueblo style. I'm just madly in love with
Fabulous.
it.
Love
Not
it.
to mention
Love it.
all the accoutrements here in the
Yes.
studio. We're
Yes.
real thrilled. You know, it's a dream come true for me.
Ever
But
she said.
we're here to talk about you.
Yeah, well, whatever. I like talking about me too. But carry
Of
on.
course I do. I want to hear a little bit more about you and Benny Hill.
I was doing. I've done 50 major TV shows in England, major TV shows, in my time in this industry, and one of them was a special of my own called Lenny Windsor at Windsor, and it was shot at a nightclub called Blazers, one of the most famous nightclubs
In Soho?
No, it's at Windsor.
Oh, at
It's
Windsor.
at the Windsor, right 100
stand
yards
corrected.
from Windsor Castle, where the Queen lives. Anyway, I went out to, we had about 20 million viewers in a day, and one of them was Benny Hill. He saw the show, liked my style, and then asked if he could have lunch with me. That's it. We had lunch together. 7.5 years later, he died. And I wrote for him.
Indigestion?
Something like that. My comedy. I wrote for him on a one-to-one basis. I didn't write for the company. I didn't work for the company. Not Thames Television. I worked for him.
Wow.
And that's it. There's nothing more.
But you
in it.
were writing his verbiage.
Yeah. Well, I'm writing stuff that he already created. I'm not going to take any credit for Benny Hill. Benny was brilliant. And, for instance, when they did the outside broadcast shots at a graveyard, he couldn't just do one because it cost too much. So he'd have to do about 10 or 12, and he would need script for different skits. And that's where we came in handy because we were writers. I was a comedian also. And that's what I did. We were able to put together 10 or 12 skits around that graveyard shot.
Amazing.
Yes, and
really
that's-
good stuff.
That's the television day.
And now, please tell viewers, you're with Murray Sacha.
Oh, yeah, I'm with Murray. I do a guest.
And Lefty.
I do a guest spot with Murray Chorchak at Planet Hollywood.
Love it.
I've been at Planet Hollywood now for 2 years. I love it there. I love the management. I love Murray. Of course, Murray's my best
Absolutely,
friend. And Lefty and April. I love them. I love them all. And then we are not there at the moment until the 17th of December.
Get a break.
Yes, but I will be doing next week. I'll be doing. I'm co-presenting an award show, and that should be fun. There's 10 people having awards, and that'd be good. I'm doing Toys for Tots. I will open the show for Toys for Tots as I
Wonderful.
did last year.
Wonderful.
And I will also do a set in the show itself. I then do Murray Solchak's a Christmas show at Henderson. I may have to go back to the UK. My brother's not been very well. He had a triple bypass.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'll pray
Yes,
for
thank
his
you.
recovery.
And I think he's having a few problems. And I think what I might do before I was going to stay for the full 5 months, but I might well pop back to the UK.
Yes, but you have something to pop back for because
yes.
on the side, you have a fleet of Rolls Royces, do you not?
I do.
Oh,
I've got a
lovely.
wonderful daughter-in-law called Emily, and I have 3 sons. And my 3 sons have a very big business in 317 properties, and they rent them all out themselves. And then Emily and I have our Windsor Carriage Company, and we have a fleet of 11 cars, 3 Phantom Rolls Royces new, Lamborghini,
Beautiful.
Ferrari, Bentley, E-Type Jaguar. We have this selection of cars. They're amazing. And then, of course, I'm a bit of a prostitute in the business. Last year, I go back for the summer season for our wedding season, and we sell me. You know, we say if you want Lenny Windsor from the Benny Hill Show to drive you at your wedding, it'll cost you.
That's wonderful. And could people even hire for a private tour, say outside of
Yeah. We can do a little bit of that. Yeah. So that's what we do. I don't see anybody that's miserable. Everyone's happy.
That's nice.
And you're right. I do go back. I use the white Phantom Rolls Royce, or whatever, but I use the white Phantom Rolls Royce as my day car. So if we had a Walmart there, I would take it to Walmart.
Well, how fun.
In retrospectively, I'd take it to the supermarket.
I think it'd be a delight to go over across the pond and have
Sure,
you as a driver
of
because it
course.
would be nothing but a memorable time.
I'll make you laugh.
Darling, yes, you've kept the whole staff here in stitches ever since you walked in through the door.
They're so sweet. You must watch this program. It's really good fun.
It is
and
fun.
you're a lovely lady. I
Thank
must
you
admit. You're
very
really
much.
good.
You're handsome.
I know.
Courtly
I'm
gentleman.
hot. I'm just hot.
Yes, you are.
I've been very-
H-A-U-T-E as well.
Oh, absolutely.
2 kinds of hot. Kind of like my favorite sauce. No.
I see.
Now, let me ask you again, when
Please.
you're working even here for these charities and with Murr,
Yeah.
do you write your own comedy or do you help them or are you called
If
into
they want to
service
help, I
in that?
do it. Murray's doing a lot of YouTube stuff at the moment. He's
wonderful
He's
at
become
that.
very famous.
He's
at
been
it.
on my show. We talked about
Yes,
that. It's
he's
brilliant.
become very famous at it, and I sometimes go with him down to Hollywood and what have you to shoot
Right.
some of these. Sometimes I'll have an input and I'll write some bits in for him. I've been in a few with him. Played a normal character.
Oh, that must have been fun.
Yeah, it
'cause
was fun. It
You're
was
kind of
really-
pranking people,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it was good. It was good. So, yes, I do all of that.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Do you drive a Rolls here in Las Vegas?
No,
Just
I've got
curious.
a rental car. I've got what's the company? Oh my God!
It's okay. It'll come back.
Yeah, they're ever so good to me.
Okay.
They give me a 6-car upgrade, and
love it.
they look after me ever so well. I
That's
love
good.
them. Alamo, thank you, Alamo.
Okay, good. Well, now they owe me.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
I'm teasing. Yes, I am looking for sponsors.
Pay
We're
this
always looking
woman.
for
Pay this woman.
sponsors. Yeah, I'll take a car too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we've only got like a little under a minute left.
Aw.
I want to thank you for coming on the show. Every time, from the first moment we saw each other a couple years ago, that we just like totally connected.
Absolutely.
It was this eye
Absolutely.
contact thing, and I'm so
Well,
happy
we should
to.
never have gone to bed. But there you are.
You're not supposed to say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all
I'm hot.
good. And he has Rolls Royce in England. What can you
what can you say?
I know. I'll be over there this summer.
I buy my women.
And they don't come cheap.
Well,
Lenny, you are a gem.
thank you, baby.
I'm going to shout out to the Red Roof Inn real quick. Love you guys. They are pet friendly, free Wi-Fi, continental breakfast for guests, and they are on Paradise Road. I will see all of you next week because you're not going to want to miss a single episode of That's So Vegas.
1, 2, 3, 4, get my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine. 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah.